guys, it's your boy W from Sweden, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys about the biggest trade that I've ever made in my whole life. It's a really big trade. Now, I've made quite a few videos before showing my biggest trade ever, like this one 9 months ago, my biggest trade ever 100,000, my biggest trade 2 years ago, my biggest trade ever 60,000 2 years ago, and the reason there's been this many my biggest trades ever is because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. However, some of these haven't actually been the biggest trade I've ever made, because the trade I'm talking about today, I haven't really been allowed to talk about until now. But before we talk about that trade, I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is White Market. White Market is a CS2 peer-to-peer marketplace where you can buy and sell skins safely for real money. There's no commission on buying skins and only 5% on selling. White Market is also one of the best marketplaces for traders who use crypto, because they have 0% fee on deposits and withdrawals with no limits. White Market is also the official ESL and Faceit partner, and if you want to try them out, then please use code ANOMALY and get a $5 bonus for free. Thank you very much, White Market, and now let's get back to the video. Now, the trade that I'm talking about today is actually a pretty old trade. It's not a trade I made like this week, this month, not even this year. No, this trade took place over 2 years ago. Actually, I started talking to the guy who was selling these skins in 2021. I remember vividly because we were in Iceland when I got contacted by this guy, and we started talking about maybe doing a trade and pricing his skins, etc. And that was in the end of 2021 when actually my birthday happened. Hey, there you go. So I remember we rented an Airbnb here in Iceland, and I pulled out ye old laptop. It was me, Sam's, Alex had his laptop, Unipixel had his laptop, and we were all just vibing. Now, as you can see by the title, this trade is quite a lot bigger than the other ones that I've made, and the trade looks like this. This is what the trade looks like. That's valued at over 150,000. And I thought it would be fun to show you guys what goes into a trade like this, of course, which items there are and the process of getting there, and of course breaking down, now that it's been so long time, how much I profited, if I profited, skins that were easy to sell and hard. Now, let's start looking at some of these skins. Obviously, first we have an Op Gungnir field tested, which on its own, like if I bought an Op Gungnir field tested, that'd be a crazy trade. However, here it's just the first skin. Next one, a Butterfly Marble Fade. Not just one, not two, but there's 5 Butterfly Marble Fades in this trade. It's crazy when you're doing a trade that's so big that a Butterfly Marble is just like a throwaway skin. That's so insane. Then we have a Karambit Gamma Doppler, phase 1. Next up, we have a Talon Ruby, not 1, but 2 Talon Rubies. 1 field tested Op Dragon Lore. No, I'm just kidding. We have 2, the other one being Minimal Wear. We also have an M9 Binet Lore, Minimal Wear. We have a Butterfly Slaughter, factory new. By the way, the prices that you're seeing on screen now, they're today's prices, because this trade took place all the way back in 2022. Prices have changed quite a lot. Just for this video, the prices I'm showing on screen, they are today's values. We have a Stat Track Talon Black Pearl, which is pretty rare to see. Not 1, but 2 Talon Sapphires, of course. So 2 Talon Sapphire, 2 Talon Ruby, what's happening? And here's a very big skin, a Butterfly Knife Sapphire. And here is the absolute craziest part of the whole trade. As you guys know, a Butterfly Sapphire is a very expensive skin, but in this trade, we didn't have only 1 Butterfly Knife Sapphire. We didn't have 2 or even 3 Butterfly Sapphires. We had 5 Butterfly Knife Sapphires. 3 of them being factory new, 1 Minimal Wear, and 1 Stat Track factory new. This is where most of the value from the entire trade comes from. This is absolutely insane. I'm never gonna see a trade like this again, I guarantee you. Then we have an Op Fade, a Karambit Ruby, of course, AK X-Ray factory new, Karambit Lore Minimal Wear, a Bayonet Sapphire, because why not? M9 Ruby, because there's just not enough gems in the world for this guy. Op Prince field tested, Sport Gloves Pandora's Box Minimal Wear. These are very expensive today. And of course, another huge skin, Butterfly Knife Emerald, because 5 Sapphires apparently wasn't enough. An M9 Sapphire to match the Ruby, a field tested M4 Howl, and finally a Butterfly Knife Fade, regular fade, not marble. That's the entire trade. Now, it's insane that $150,000, actually more, fits into only these 36 skins. That means that these skins are worth like 4,000 to 300 each on average, which is absolutely crazy. Now, like I was saying, buying a Butterfly Butterfly Emerald, for example, it's very nice because it's an expensive skin and it's quite easy to buy and sell, but it's not something you come across every day because it's a very rare skin. Not many people are selling it. And whenever I buy like a Butterfly Emerald or like Hedge Maze Gloves Minimal Wear, I'm happy because I know it's a rare skin, it's expensive, and it's not such a common occurrence. However, having this many rare Grail skins in a single trade is absolutely unbelievable. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime trade for me, and I'm a very big trader. And I can really say, this is not something you see often, if ever. Now, like I said, when we were in Iceland, I was talking to this guy, and there was a lot of talking back and forth. This wasn't just your regular trade that takes place in 15 minutes, where he says what skins he wants to sell, I give him an offer, and then we trade, and I pay him. No, this was a much longer process. We started talking in the end of 2021, and we actually made the deal like halfway into January, so it was a long process, because first of all, we needed to settle on what sort of a price we should pick for each item. I needed to list all of these skins, and they're not super common skins, so it took a while to price. And back then, everyone used buff, because Westerners could still use it, so what we ended up doing was agreeing on, I think it was around 92 or 92.5% buff. At least that's around what I ended up paying compared to what I sold it for. So in total, I paid around 135,000 euro, if I remember correctly. It may have been a little less or a little more, I don't remember exactly. But back in 22, that was basically $150,000. And what sort of profit can you expect when you do a trade that's this big? Well, let me tell you. Now, the skin that I ended up profiting the absolute least from was actually the AK X-Ray Factory New, surprisingly enough. I thought this would be an easy skin to sell, but it was not. I bought this skin for 1,463 euro, and I ended up selling it for 1,494. So I profited just about 30 euro, but that's sadly before selling the buff balance. So in the end, I'm pretty sure I ended up losing money. Then we have the Op Fade, which I ended up profiting around 50 euro from. I bought it for 550 and sold it for basically 590. That's pretty good. Now, one of the Butterfly Sapphires I sadly sold and profited only 260 euro from, which 260 euro, that's a lot of money, that's good profit, but not if you take into consideration the fact that this skin was over 10,000 euro. Comparing them, the percentage of that profit isn't really that good. However, weirdly enough, the minimal wear Butterfly Sapphire I actually ended up selling for 930 euro in profit, which is very good. So this is a skin that took quite a long time to sell, and I didn't think I would profit very much, but in the end, it actually sold for a pretty good price. Now, those are some of the skins on the best and worst spectrum of this trade, the ones I profited the most and the least from, but how much did I actually end up selling all of these skins for in total? Now, with currency conversions and such, it's a little hard to check exactly, but I ended up selling all of these for around 160 to 162,000 dollars. Now, there are some small fees on top of that, but basically, let's say I easily profited $10,000 from one trade, which is absolutely unheard of. And yes, I did have to spend 150,000 to get all of these skins, so the profit of 10,000 is pretty expected, but I'm just happy that it all worked out good for both me and the guy who was selling them. Now, the guy that sold all of these skins to me, I'm not going to say his name or who he is because I want him to stay anonymous. I don't want to expose him, you know, that's fucked. But I can say, however, he sold all of these skins to me, and then with the money that he got from this, he actually spent a lot of that money to start his own company, which is now doing very well. That's just sick. I'm just proud of him. That's cool. He got all of these skins in CS, he sold them, he now started his own business. Like, bro, that's insane. That's some Donald Trump shit level story, bro. Very nice. So yeah, that is by far the actual biggest trade that I've ever done, and I'm pretty sure it's the biggest trade that I'll ever do, unless I start trading some insane 4x Titan sticker crafts or so, because there's not that many skins that get up into those values unless you have a lot of them, which you very rarely see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Now I'll go be very happy that I managed to do this trade, and the guy started his own company. Everything is just very wholesome. Wham! However, I'm still kind of sad, because if I just held these skins until they announced CS2, I could have sold these for easily like 200,000. I'm fucking retarded, I guess.